Okay, thank you. Last class, I was talking about this diagram, and this diagram is about quantization, two-bit quantization. Okay, and let's look at the last line here. If the input voltage is between 6.25 and 10, then the output is 7.5. But if that's not true, then the output is zero. That's what the zero is for. Last class, somebody asked me what the zero is for, and I had forgotten, but I quickly remembered right after I signed off. So that was the first thing I wanted to do. I wanted to clarify that. Any questions about that?
I
So
missed I missed what you said about the zero. Sorry.
I'm saying if this statement here is true, the output is 7.5. If the statement is not true, then the output is zero.
There's a
Okay. Whenever you have an if statement, then you have two answers. The statement is true or the statement is not true. And you have one outcome for when it's true and one outcome for when it's false. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I want to go back now. About bipolar quantization. And what do you think bipolar quantization means?
I mean, to go above and below the x-axis.
Or what's another way of saying? What's another way of saying that?
It's positive and negative.
Oh Lord. Uh, Somebody has Mr. Pinto's number. Nobody has Mr. Pinto's number.
A group member.
I have his number.
Can you please text him and let him know he joined the wrong meeting? He's trying to join the wrong meeting.
All right.
Okay. Ms. Buchamp, you were saying bipolar means what?
At first, I was saying above and below the x-axis.
So the values are negative and positive. That's what you mean.
Yes, sir.
Unipolar, the value is only positive or the value is only negatives. Bipolar means the signal is either bi means two. Two. Okay. So we have a bipolar signal, let's say from -5, +5. I want to do 8 level quantization. And 8 levels means 2 to the 3. Okay. So 3 bits. Okay. So what's the range? What's the range of the input signal?
And volts.
10 volts. Thank you very much. You're going from -5 to +5. That's the range is 10 volts. So what's the quantization step?
I'll say that's 1.25.
And how do you get that?
Divided by 8.
It's the 10 over 2 over 3.
2 over 3? 10 over 3?
2 to the third power, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's 1.25. Okay. So let's show that on a diagram. So this would be -5, and this would be +5. And we have a first step of what? What's going to be that value?
-3.75.
Okay, where you get that from?
And minus the -5 from the 1.25.
Okay, but what isn't it first step? Isn't it first step the minimum value plus Q over 2? Isn't that right? Isn't that what we said?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? What's that step then? What's that value?
-4.375.
Yeah. So this would be the 1.25 divided by 2, right? Minus 5. -4.375. And what's the step up from that?
No, that one would be the -3.75.
No,
No?
no.
Question, Dr. Goddard.
Yes?
You said 1.25 divided by 2 divided by -5, right?
No. Minus 5.
Oh, -5. Okay, no problem.
This number is -5. What's the next? Well, this next point is the -5 plus Q over 2.
I thought you said divided. That's why I was getting something different. That's why I was confused. Okay.
Yeah, but again, if you're looking at my diagram, I don't know how you think I said divided.
So wouldn't you just add the minimum value again? Would it just -4.375 plus 1.25
Plus what?
plus 1.25 over 2.
Yes, plus Q. Okay. So this value here is And how much is that? I'm just
You
negative
saying?
4.375 plus. Excuse me.
No, you can finish what you saying.
So it's 4.375 negative plus Q 1.25.
That'd be negative 3.75.
No, negative 3.125. I don't know why y'all can't use your calculator.
No, they probably thought you were saying plus Q over 2 instead of Q.
Yeah, but I don't know why they think I'm saying that when I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I did the Q over 2. Okay, let me change that.
The first one is Q over 2. All
Yes,
the
sir.
others are Q except for the very last piece. What's the very
All right.
last piece? What's this point right here? You also know this from last class. What's this point right here?
Now 3Q over 2 or something like that, I think it was.
That's 5 minus 3Q over 2.
Yeah.
All right? 5 minus 3 times 2.25 over 2. Eight point 125. What's this point here? What's this point here?
What is the range?
You ask me what the range is? Are you not reading my handout?
Would that be 1.25, Dr. Cartwright?
That's not going to be 1.25, no.
No, you divide it by 2.
This,
That'd be 0.625. But I say that's 8 split. Yeah. Let me see.
all right, let's start easier. What's this point here?
0.
No.
You thought that's negative 5, right?
Negative 5. That's negative 5. All right. So what's the next point? This is exactly what we did last class, except that last class, this was 0 and that was 10.
Would that be negative 3.75?
Yes. What's that? That's -5 plus Q. What's this next point?
Negative 2.5.
-2.5. Okay, so this is BQ. Okay. Finish this graph off, please. Put in the missing X values, put in the missing Y values, and send me your answer by email. Please. Did Mr. Kerpers pull his favorite trick? Is his device here, but he's not?
Say it, say it again, Dr. Better.
I want to see you after class.
Okay.
Okay.
King.
Somebody say something? Mrs. Johnson, you did not do what I asked. I asked you to send me by email this diagram completed.
Oh, I heard you with the picture, but my phone. Yeah, I have problem taking pictures.
I am tired of having excuses about your phone. Please get the equipment that you need to attend my class. I don't want to hear any more excuses about your phone.
Yes, sir.
I asked you to send me by email this diagram completed. I had expected to hear from somebody by now.
Non-adjustment, oh no. You want me to tell you what it is?
No, I want the diagram.
All right, finishing it up right now.
The y-axis is wrong, Mr. Buchan.
I try scotch it up. The ones above the zero and the negative, I was trying to scotch it out, sort of.
No, I'm not talking about that. The minimum value is -5. The minimum value is -5, Mr. Buchan. The minimum quantized value. The minimum quantized value is -5.
No, I didn't. Or yeah, I see. I didn't put it. I only put it for the x-axis.
But not only that, what's the maximum quantized value?
5 volts positive.
No,
No, it's three. It's
the maximum
3.75.
quantized value is not 5 volts.
It's 3.75 volts.
Yeah, so exactly. So please correct your please correct your y-axis. Send it back to me, please.
All right.
Again, Mr. Duchamp, why are you showing a maximum value as -5? I mean, as +5. On the quantization. If you count all the points you have on your y-axis is 9, it's not 8. That +5 should not be there. All right, everybody, please pay attention. Let's do it.
Are you supposed to be sharing your screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to leave the bolts off because I can put the unit on the X label.
-3.125. The next one is -1.875. negative 0.625.
625?
Yes, sir.
I get 675. Negative
See?
0.675.
It's
It's
275.
25.
625.
It's 25 also. Let me correct mine.
And then it's, yeah.
And it's what? 1.875.
Positive 1.875. And then after that, you have the
And then-
3.125.
And then it's 5 volts. The last one. The last one's the longest one. Let's make it 5. So this here is the 5 volts. This here is VQ 5. Negative 3.75. Negative 2.5. Negative 1.25. 0. And then 1.25. And then 2.5. And then 3.75. Okay. Notice the quantize, the maximum quantize. Maximum quantize value is maximum input minus Q. The maximum input is 5. 5 minus 1.25 to 3.75. Any questions about that?
You see now on the x-axis how you have 9.
Now write the table for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Where you see 9? Where
Now
you
you're
see
talking about
9?
the different
Nine.
values don't, yeah. From negative 5 to 5, it was 9 values.
But I have 8 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 intervals. Okay, write the table for me. Table is VI volts, the output in volts, and then the digital code we'll put in later. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Send me your answers by email.
You don't need us to put the digital values, right?
No. I'll put the digital code in.
What is the title of the first row? Does that say VB?
Says what?
I wanted to know the title of the first row.
That's supposed to be VN, right?
I don't know what you mean the first column?
Yes,
Well, don't you know the difference between columns and rows? The title of the first column is VI.
yes,
The title of the second column is VQ. And the third column here would be the digital code, but I'll put that in. And make your top -5 is less than VI is less than -4.375. And of course, the output is -5.
So Dr. Carter, that would be less than or equal to, right?
The first one's less than or equal to. Both of these can be less than or equal to. So this is just less time. The next statement would be less than or equal to. These 2 points can be equal. One of these have to be equal and the other one not. Oh, that's what less than. All right, I'm running out of time here, so please pay attention. This is the upper limit. We can have less than or equal to here. That's the upper limit. Any questions about this? What do you know is the bit?
Pardon me, I didn't hear you.
What do you notice about the most significant bit?
The most significant bit. Let's see.
What?
For positive Q values, it's 0, and for negative Q values, it's 1.
I don't know by what you mean by Q values. There's only one Q value.
I mean VQ, the VQ values.
All VQ values, the quantized level.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the quantized level is negative. If the quantized value is positive, the most significant bit is 0. Yes. Now, an interesting assignment is to ask you to given these bits, build a digital to analog converter. That would be an interesting assignment. I'd be interested to see what you come up with. You understand? This is not the only way you can assign bits to these numerical values. There are other ways of doing it. Yeah. This is the way the book does it. This example is right out of the book, by the way. Okay. Any questions about this?
I have a question.
Okay, that's the last thing I want to do in quantization.
I have a question.
Get a screenshot, please. Yeah, go ahead.
You see the last column in VQ?
Yes, go ahead.
The last column in VQ, is that 0.375? I thought it would have been.
There is only, I don't know what you mean. I don't, Mr.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what you mean by the last column in VQ. Johnson, the last column, there is only one column in VQ. VQ only has one column.
I think you mean the last row where it says 0.
Are you talking about the last row in VQ?
Yes, sir.
This is the last row. Okay. What's your question?
I see a 0.375. I thought that was supposed to be 3.75.
Mr. John?
Yes, sir.
Actually, you're right. And the column before that. Oh, no, column before is 2.5. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Because that corresponds to this one up here, 3.75. Okay, I don't know, that slipped in. Any other questions? Please take a snip because I'm moving on. That's all the work I want to do on quantization. Rest is up to you. In chapter 3 now. Where we start, we've created our digital signal. We have created our digital signal.
No, I thought you said
How did we create our digital signal? What's the two things necessary to create a digital signal?
Specific values and specific time.
Mr. Buchap?
I didn't hear you was lagging.
Okay. Limit output values, yes. All right. You had a question, Mr. Buchap?
No, I said I thought class was over, man.
Okay. You had a question, Mr. Buchap?
No, don't worry about the Dr. Godred.
Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. let's go to example 3.2 of your text. We're looking at figure 3.3. And we're plotting not x of t, but x of n. So our horizontal axis n times capital T, n times ts, but we don't bother with the ts. The ts is understood. So our horizontal axis is a function of n. Our vertical axis is a function of n, x of n. So what's the value of x of 0?
What you boys talking about, mate?
He wanted to know what was x of 0.
All right.
Tell me in English, what's x of 0 mean?
The value at that specific point on the x-axis.
What specific point? What specific
0.
point? Change my provider. I got two of the internet, or if you sign back on when I go to my new provider. So give me a couple minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to change now. Okay, are you with me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, so I just changed my internet provider. And let's see if this works out any better. Okay. So as I was saying, the y-axis in figure 3.3 is x of n. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it is x of n. The x-axis is just n. So x of 0 means what is the y value? What is the y value when n equals 0? I would go down here on a graph. Here's n equals 0. I would go up here, and that's 0.25. So x of 0 is 0.25. Any questions about that? All right. What's x of 5? Can you read x of 5?
That would look like 0.5.
Yes, 0.5. All right. So if this is x of n, what does x of n minus 1 look like? Well, that's in 3.4. Out of 3.4, what does 3.4 look like compared to 3.3? What does figure 3.4 look like compared to figure 3.3? Well, you didn't explain that very well. Anybody else? What does 3.4 look like compared to figure 3.3? What has happened?
Well, in figure 3.3, the y-axis was x of n. And with 3.4, the y-axis is x of n minus 1. And the x-axis for both figures stay the same.
You did not answer my question. You did not answer my question. You just tell me what the graph is saying. I know what we're plotting. You just telling me what we're plotting. I didn't ask you what I'm plotting. I'm asking what does figure 3.4. How does figure 3.4 differ from figure 3.3 visually?
It's like a shift forward, like it
It is shifted to the right.
Yeah.
It is shifted to the right by 1. It is shifted to the right by 1. And you know that. You should know that. You should know that from Math 167. Okay. What is? No, you should know that from 320. You should know that from when we were talking about delayed step functions. Or delay any kind of function. So we're delaying x of n minus 1 is shifting the function to the right by 1. What's x of n minus 2 doing? That's figure 3.5. What's x of n minus 2 doing?
Shift it to the right by 2.
Yeah, shifting to the right by 2. Or 3.4 is delaying by 1. 3.5 is delaying by 2. It's delaying by 2. Okay. That's the important thing there. Now we get to define some functions from 320. What was delta of t? What was delta of t from 320?
I remember something like infinity at t equals 0,
Yeah. Infinity.
and 0 at t when it's not equal to 0.
Yes. So what's the corresponding digital impulse? The digital impulse is given in figure 3.8. All by equation 3.1. The digital impulse is what? 0 everywhere. 0 everywhere except at n equals 0. And at n equals 0, it is 1. It's not infinite, it is 1. So this is delta of n is a lot easier than delta of t. All right, so what's delta of 0 equal to? What's delta of 0 equal to?
Can I see the page before this one, please?
No,
Based on what I saw on the last page, that would be 1.
yes, 1. What's delta of negative 1 equal to?
Zero.
0. What's delta of 1 equal to?
0.
0. In fact, delta of anything, delta of any integer,
Dr. Cartwright, would there be any case where b equals to infinity?
young man, were you not present when I was giving you the definition of delta? What did I say
No.
delta was equal to?
Oh,
How many values does delta have? Mr. Anderson, how many values does delta have?
I have to look back at the page, but I didn't really get the page which what, before this one.
It's in your textbook. I bet you don't have the textbook. I don't know what.
Not yet.
Huh? Not yet. When you intend to get it? Never?
I tended to get it before the midterm. Oh, by the way, when is the midterm? Next month?
Young man, midterm is at least 4 weeks away. I'm not talking about midterm now. I don't know why you have to wait so long to get your textbook. Okay. I gave you warning since a year ago to buy this textbook. Delta only has two values, Mr. Anderson. What are those two values?
1 and 0.
1 and 0. So do you see infinity there anywhere?
What's up?
All right, so that answers your question. When does delta equal 1? When does delta equal 1? Anybody, when does delta equal 1?
Only at 0.
Yeah, 0.
Only at n equals 0. Please be specific in your answers.
Yeah, only
At n equals 0. Okay. So delta of any integer other than 0 is equal to 0. And delta of n equals 0 is equal to 1. Really straightforward definition. Okay. So, reminder, this is what delta of n looks like. What does 4 delta of n look like? What does this function look like? Folks, I don't know why this is a difficult question. How is this function related to this function? How are these two related? Mathematically, how are they related?
That's 4 times more.
The bottom one is 4 times more than the top. So draw me a graph that's 4 times as much. It will simply be the same graph, except this point here is 4. I don't know why that's difficult. This should be a breeze. We had 320. This is exactly like 320, except that the only difference between this and 320 is the x variable is not t, it is n. We're only looking at specific values of time. What about this one? What does that look like?
Does it go down to -2? Like shift down.
Yes, it's negative. It's negative. It goes down to -2. All right? Because this is -2. This is -2 times this. So it's 1 times -2. So it all goes down to -2. All right. Now here comes this question. What is delta of -3? N minus 3. What is delta of n minus 3?
And that of a shift.
Shift
Yeah.
to the right
To the right. Shift to the right.
3 times.
By 3. Shift to the right by 3. So is n equals 0, -1, -2, 1, 2, 3. And how tall is it?
Add 1.
What?
1.
1. Yes. Good. Okay. Down. All right. Everybody snip this, please. I'm going to the next page. What does this look like? What does y look like? Oh, I could call it x. Doesn't matter. What does this math say? What is x of n equal to?
So delta again be as high as 1, and it'll start at 0, and then it'll shift by 3.
I don't know why y'all can't read math equations. This says I'm adding 2 functions. That's what this says. This says I'm adding 2 functions. The first function is delta of n. The second function is delta of n minus 3. I am adding two functions. What does delta of n look like? Well, we know we did that. Delta of n looks like this. All right. To that, we're going to add delta of n minus 3, which looks like this. I'm going to add these two together. Right? Let's just put 4 in here. I'm going to add these two together, and what am I going to get? I'm going to get x of n. I would get x of n, and what's that? It's 0 everywhere except where? Right here. Right here. See, at n equals 0, what do we have? We have 1 plus 0. It's 1. Then we have 0. And then we have 1 again. Because we have 1 plus 0. Again, we did all this. We did all this in 320, except that we were talking about delta of t and delta of t minus 3. Okay. All right, I see I'm out of time. Any questions about that? You can get this book from Amazon within a week. Within a week, it could be in Nassau. I'll say again, in case you all didn't believe me, you are going to need your textbook. Because I will not be writing out all these examples. The examples are in your textbook.
Oh, the God, right? We understand it really good when you write it out.
Yo, man, I'm not going to be on your job to help you read your technical manuals. No, I will not be. So part of your training is what? Reading the book. Learning to get information from the book. That's part of your training. You know, I taught myself electronics during high school. I had a I was doing high school work. I was working in the afternoons, and at night I was doing a home study course in electronics. A home study course in electronics. And I still graduated from St. John's with the best results. Now, why is that? It's not because I'm a genius. I'm not a genius. I worked very hard. Was there anybody that tell me where I was going wrong in the electronics? No. All I had was the book, and there was no internet. There was no YouTube. All there was a textbook. You have to learn to read technical manuals. You as a group, not you personally, you as a group you're just too lazy. I'm not talking about every one of you. I'm talking about this generation. You want to be spoon-fed. When you learn how to learn for yourselves, you won't have to rely on anybody else to teach you anything.
Our generation of ADHD, you know.
Yeah, what?
ADHD.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I think what you have is you focus on the wrong things. I think your social media means more to you than ELT 460. I think the text right now that you're reading and the emails right now you're reading rather than paying attention to me is the problem.
Oh, the God, right. That's a
Yes.
question. We don't have nothing to do with this class, right? We don't think like the way the world going, like the way the information, access to information, like learning all the textbook and reading text and stuff to learn to become obsolete.
No,
Hmm.
no, I do not think it's becoming obsolete. You're gonna have to read something. You may not have to read a textbook, but you're gonna have to read material. You're gonna have to read material of some kind. Anyway, everybody leave, please, except for Mr. Kerr. I need to talk to Mr. Kerr. See y'all on Wednesday.
Today.
Yes, sir.
You know.
You don't send